Thank you so much for having me here at this pro-life event. I'm honored and dignified. If I might, for any of our members, many of whom I see here in the audience, if you could come up with me, I would certainly appreciate it. We have quite a few members who are here from the State House of Representatives, in particular Kathy Rapp, if you'll come with me. Thank you, dear. Kate, come on right up front. These members are steadfast in protecting the dignity of each and every person from conception until the last breath of life. They all believe in the dignity of every human being. I have to tell you, I oftentimes hear, we just heard about in Iceland, I believe, there was this report that, they're eliminating Down syndrome because they're aborting every child they recognize in the uterus because they have that. Oh my goodness. I mean, who amongst us is born with perfection? We all have disabilities, and we all have the right to have the ability to live our lives with the grace of God each and every day. Love, support. This group of individuals cares about the dignity of the unborn child and about each and every individual, the moms too. We care about the moms. How many of you in the pro-life movement, and you're on the front line because you care so deeply, you're on the front line and you talk to those moms that have had abortions and how traumatizing it has been to them, and how many of them in later life say, oh my goodness, I wish I would have had that support when I was younger. Yes, I'm a guy. My wife's a pediatrician. I'm not the face of the person on the front lines for pro-life. Kathy Rapp, our champion, has been. Donna Oberlander, Kate Klunk. Really, these great women. And here's what they want to do. They're trying to get folks to rethink this issue of abortion. They want everybody to understand that a life should not be something that you can just so quickly dispose. It's interesting to me, and I'm not a person who castigates individuals. I'm not a person who wants to push people away. I want to bring people in. That's how this team is. They want to bring people in. They want them to rethink it. But the notion that I'm going to, escort you to an abortion, it's almost as like we don't really know if you're good enough to have a kid. We don't really know if you should be burdening the rest of us. It might be better for you to take that route, as opposed to thinking of the beauty of that unborn child who's going to become a life. There's two contrasting approaches here. The bill that we have was passed by our body last session, right? There's Judy Ward back here too. Judy, come on up too, with all of our good friends. We passed it, Kathy, and it didn't get taken up last session by the Senate, right? So then the Senate this year passed Senate Bill 3, and we're going to run that, and we're going to get. We had 132 votes in our chamber last year, just shy of veto proof, just shy. We need 135 in our body, and I have to tell you, we have support on both the Republican and the Democratic side. The life issue is not limited by party. I have to say many in my party are very for pro-life, but we have good friends and colleagues on the other side of the aisle who stand with us on Senate Bill 3 and House Bill 77, right? Let me I'm going to get into just some important details, because I think the other side sometimes just likes to dismiss where we are. We're people that care. We're people who believe in the dignity of each and every person. But I want to tell you something. Science has changed. My wife, who's a pediatrician, she's counseled unwed mothers at the Rosalia Center and has tried to encourage people, we can help you and show you support for your unborn child and your child. But here's the important thing of Representative Rapp's legislation and Senator Brooks's legislation, Michelle Brooks, Kathy Rapp. Right now, under the Abortion Control Act, you can have an abortion up to and through 24 weeks, 6 days. That's where it is today. This bill would take it up, would say that no, you should not have an abortion after 20 weeks, 6 days. Now, there's exceptions, there's medical exceptions in the existing law and where we are, but it would change it by 4 weeks, from 24 weeks, 6 days, which is where we are today, to 20 weeks, 6 days. And why? Because science has changed. Viability is earlier. We all believe that it goes from conception, but we're looking for common ground here. We're following the dictates right now of the Supreme Court. Not that we necessarily agree, by the way, but we're working within it. And here's the thing, we think that you should be able to save and prohibit abortions during those 4 weeks. So instead of up to 24 weeks, 6 days, it would be up to 20 weeks and 6 days. When I did research, that was about 380 abortions in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania out of about 31,000 plus abortions that occurred in 2016. Those are the last statistics that we have. So what we're doing here, these later abortions, we're trying to save people, babies that could survive. We're trying to save at least those 380 individuals, those babies. And with the dismemberment abortions, you know, it's a part of a dilation and evacuation procedure. My goodness, they're gruesome. They're gruesome. And I have to say, there were of 2 different categories, but combined together those categories, of which this is one of them, there were close to 1,600 of those abortions, and this is one of the 2 of those types, D&E abortions. For those of you that like to see where the jurisprudence is on this, Gonzalez v. Carhart, 2007 United States Supreme Court opinion. And remember, Carhart upheld the prohibition on partial birth abortions. So first of all, the argument that this is non-constitutional is just incorrect. And the fact that that we are not caring, in fact, we care deeply, deeply about every mom, every woman, every unborn child. And we want to show love and support. And to have this team here in support of this legislation, and we're going to get a significant vote total when this comes up in the House of Representatives. And we think the governor should sign it. We do. Thank you very, very much.